Oh, hi there. Just thought I'd try out my old sunglasses because I need some new ones. And it turns out that I don't see very clearly through them. You know, these glasses are a lot like a problem many of us practitioners who use personality type or personality patterns as personal patterns, as I'm now liking to think of it. Um, and, and, um, and one of those problems is that we're looking through, especially these glasses, because these are older for me and the prescription isn't right. That we're looking through some lenses about how we do our work that may be getting into our way. And so what happens? What goes wrong with that? It really, how many times have you done some work, you felt good about a workshop, and then it turns out that they don't ask you back? Or you hear later that what they wanted was more application. Yeah, this happens to a lot of us, and it happens from time to time, but if it's happening a lot, then it's a really painful problem. And you're doing good work with personality models and the other aspects of the work that you do, but for some reason it may not be working as well. And as it turns out, you're not alone, really. One of the reasons that you're often not, or that we practitioners are not asked back, is because people have fun in the workshop, they get some results, they go back and they, you know, the handout or whatever you've given them, and it turns out to not work for them. And people are judging them harshly or deciding that, yeah, oh, well, you're just this type, so, you know, you don't do that other thing, whatever it is. And it turns out that really part of the problem is, you know, they just put it away in their drawer and they don't pay attention to it because in the end, when they got to thinking about it, it really didn't fit for them. And so how do we take care of this problem? So in the end, it didn't really fit for them. I had this experience when I was doing MBTI certification programs in the very, very beginning, back in the 1990s. And one of the first ones I did, a woman came in, and I thought perhaps her temperament or essential motivator pattern was improviser based on a little bit of behavior I saw. And she reported something else. She said, oh, I'm an ESTJ. And so she went along and, you know, did the activities and the group activities. And then in the debrief of one of the activities, in the stabilizer group, or those with SJ preferences on in the type code, she presented, and those with improviser preferences or SP preferences asked, they were wondering if maybe she had a lot of influence in that group. And she said, oh, yeah. And the rest of the group said, well, we were being nice. So at the break, I suggested that she read a different type description, and she did. And she discovered that it actually fit her better, and her energy lifted. So I realized that by that situation, we had to do some things differently. And as it turns out, even in the MBTI manual, the data is somewhere between 50 to 80% of accuracy on all four preferences. And for validity and reliability statistics, that's a good thing, because by chance it would be 6% with that many variables. But for the person walking away, you can't just rely on instrument results alone. You really need to have other ways. And what we were forced to discover is that there were two things going on. We had two different lenses. We had the essential motivators lens, called it temperament in those days, and we had the type code lens that we were teaching people as they were getting qualified to use the MBTI instrument. And those two lenses gave us two different views. And those views were of the same phenomenon. It's just that the data we were able to gather from different perspectives led us to evolve this multiple model approach. So I've had this experience of working with personality type differences, training other people in it for over 43 years. The whole self-discovery approach and methodology, which we now call the core approach, evolved. And it has become a very strong methodology that enables you to launch people on a journey of self-discovery. Rather than taking an instrument results as their good fit. You know, when it's accurate, it's wonderful, it's magic, and it's great. But there are always those people for whom it isn't accurate. And then that can create conflict on a team. And so you want to launch them on a self-discovery journey with materials that they can go home and continue to explore and be very clear on the idea that continue to explore. Because it's not a label that we're going to give them. It's not a tattoo on their forehead, as my friend Linda Ernst used to say. So we've had all this experience, and over the last 2 years, year and a half, we've been teaching people to do this with online certification courses. So I would love to have you join us in the upcoming Essential Motivator certification course, where we will teach you the methodology that you can use in all aspects of your typology work. And we will teach you to use the Essential Motivator lens to help people, much in the way that we were able to use the lens since way back in 1991, when we were learning to discover that you can't just depend on instrument results, and that having more than one lens really did help. So the Essential Motivators class works in this way. You have 7 online live sessions for 2 hours. And that's with me. I love teaching these. I love the students who come to the classes. It's such an honor to have people show up. And then you have some homework in between. And you watch videos, so we're not wasting time in your online time. That's for you to really get your feet wet and let's talk about things. We have some videos, and you can always go back to those videos and watch the method that we use and the way we explain it. And we also teach you the principles so that you can innovate and come up with other ways and still adhere to the main principles of the approach. You walk away with tools, with scripted lesson plans, with a whole variety of ways to do the work and accomplish the results that your clients are wanting. And they stick because they remember who they are and it matches who they are. And if it doesn't, you instill the idea of a process that they feel good about, that they can continue to engage in. So in this class, you will learn the process, the do's and don'ts, the kinds of things that in our years and years of experience we found work. You will learn from your cohort, from the people who are in the course with you, and you will take away a certification once you've completed the assignments. Okay. So now I feel so good about this class that I'm willing to offer a guarantee, and it's a satisfaction guarantee that you will be satisfied that you actually got more than you came in with, and that it's something that you can use. Now, what do you do if you do nothing? Well, you can continue doing the work that you're doing, or you can enrich it and, and be on the leading edge of what it takes in this new world of work to meet the needs of the clients that you have and to have them ask you back. Now, you will also gain credibility because you'll have the certification behind it. And you will have more confidence in your use. I want to invite you to join me. It's the Essential Motivator certification course starts on August 31st and continues for 7 weeks. there will be recordings made of the session so that if you do have to miss, you can always catch up. So you will have access to all of the videos and the recordings for a very long time for you to go back and reference. So I do hope you join me. And if you act now, you will get an extra $300 off. So I'm extending the early registration for 24 hours. So I'm so excited about this class starting August 31st that I hope you do join us. And if you act within the next 24 hours, you will take advantage of a coupon for $300 off the price. And just for you, I've extended the early registration. And just one more thing. Below you will find a link to a conversation with one of the graduates of the entire certification process of 3 separate courses. And she talks about how that transformed her own practice and has improved her practice. And she shares some wisdom about that. So I hope you watch that. And don't forget, sign up now to get that discount. And I look forward to seeing you soon.